On Barry Charles' Footy Show tonight. Yes, Ryan Papenhuyzen to r360. But he won't be the only one. Will Kennedy, I expect to go as well. But the big news, yes, the big news, Jahream Bula, potentially on its way to the Bulldogs. But can the Storm, can the Tigers find a way? Jahream Bula is on the move. They're wanting a fullback, and he is the man they want with Kikau, keeping their Fijian flavour going. Absolutely some interesting things going on there. And yes, English get rid of Jack Wellesby, and in comes Brimson. Will it make a difference for Morgan Smithies as well? I don't think so. It's going to be a whitewash to Australia. The Kiwis, yes, the mighty Kiwis, sees Xavier Willison and Tamari Martin come out of the bush straight into game day with injuries to Jerry Marshall-King. Rest of the series, they need to bring him in. Jason Tamalolo is back for Tonga. Can he do much? It's all on, and faalogo, what does it mean for him? It's all on here in the Rugby League and your favourite channel, Barry Charles Footy Show. Let's get to it right here, right now. Yes, let's go to the first news here. Jahream Bula is looking to sign with Bulldogs, and it could be effective immediately. That's the talk. He goes to fullback. He answers the question there. They are done. They don't need anyone else. And he potentially, same as Lachlan Galvin, will take a little bit less to go there. That's what I'm hearing. Jahream Bula to the Bulldogs. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I've got a bright feeling he's got a chance. The Storm are obviously a chance, but the limbo with Craig Bellamy makes it hard for anyone to sign at the Storm at the moment. It's going to be an interesting talking point if Craig Bellamy does eventually go. But, yeah, so Jahream Bula. Pressure on the Tigers to get this one settled. We will see. But obviously the Sharks will love him because Will Kennedy's going to r360. This is what is believed to be happening with Roger and Ryan Papenhuyzen. After Ryan Papenhuyzen has a break, he wants to save himself from being deciding to go. He's found the loophole. I'll quit now, and then I can go to 360. Smart move from Ryan Papenhuyzen if he wants to go back to Rugby League. So interesting to see how that plays out for the man himself, Peter V'landys, how he works around that if he does decide to come back. So yeah, for Papenhuyzen, it's all r360. Potential he'll play rugby somewhere else, but I don't know if there's really time with the contract seasons for him to play anywhere else. Unless he wants to go to Super Rugby. That's probably the potential if he plays for the Waratahs, or yeah, so that's probably his only opportunity, Ryan Papenhuyzen, to play rugby before r360, and maybe he does that, or he plays club footy somewhere. Maybe that's where he looks at playing lower level footy just to get the game going. But what does this mean for Melbourne Storm? They lost Jonah Pezza. Did Jonah Pezza want to stay? Really, a lot of question marks over all that happening. I just really don't know what is happening there. But yeah, to me, faalogo is not the answer. Every time he's had the opportunity, they've gone for someone else. They put Nick Meaney at fullback, Tyrone Wishart. They put other people at fullback. So if faalogo is not the answer, so they're obviously looking for the big fish. And that big fish is Tino. Yes, Tino and Stefano, bang, bang. And I think you're going to expect it to be done shortly. But the caveat is all about Craig Bellamy. Craig Bellamy stays at Storm. Tino signs. That is the big question. What happens if he goes to Gold Coast right now? I don't see that happening in this year. He doesn't normally break a contract, so he'll be at the Storm. But to me, Tino's probably going to be in a little bit of limbo. If he goes back there, who's going to be the coach? Will it be Billy? Will it be someone else? We don't know. But that's the thing about the Storm. Anyone signing with the Storm, question mark. And that's why no one's rushing to sign back up with the Storm. So going to be question marks going forward about that. But the interesting dilemmas around Rugby League right here at the moment. Interesting to see how it all plays out. Yes, well, disappointing for England. They've tried to make some changes. Brimson, Morgan Smithies into the team. John Bateman out the door. See you later, mate. Dropped off another Jack Wellesby and a couple others. But they ain't going to win. Let's get fair dinkum. Australia won. Well, they might win by 50 this time. I really think they need to get rocking and rolling. There's a lot of pressure on England to turn it around. They may get closer, but it looks embarrassing for them. It should be an easy one for Australia. Kiwis Tonga, again I think this is a similar one for the Kiwis. I'm expecting them to get home. They've dropped Nass. They brought Willison in and Tim Whitey Martin in for the injured Jeremy Marshall-King. He continues to get injured a lot of the time, which is just disappointing for him. Jason Tomalolo's back, but Katoa, well, he's got to come out for him because he was disappointing. If he can turn up, Tonga can win. Don't get it. If Katoa can turn up with his best game, they can win. But that is the question mark. He was out of his elements last week. He absolutely was outclassed. No show for me. Well, just going back to faalogo, where do I think he's going to end up? Probably, I don't know if he wants to go overseas, but I think if he wants to make some money, that's where he's probably got to go, because I don't know if a lot of clubs really see him as the fullback, unless he goes to the Dragons. They might be the option, but the Dragons seem to be lined up with everyone and can't get a fish. It's really going to be interesting times this weekend with all the football. But anyway, just a short video of this episode on Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Go the Kiwis.